The History and Future of Tattoos, a story written on the human soul. Tattoos are far more than ink beneath the skin. They are one of humanity's oldest forms of storytelling. Older than written language, older than books, older than history as we usually remember it. Long before we recorded stories on paper, we recorded them on ourselves. When we talk about tattoos, we're not just talking about art. We're talking about identity, belonging, spirituality, rebellion, healing, memory, and the deeply human need to be seen and remembered. The ancient origins of tattooing. The history of tattoos begins over 5,000 years ago, long before modern civilization. One of the earliest known tattooed humans is Otzi the Iceman, discovered frozen in the Alps. His body carried more than 60 tattoos, simple lines and dots, placed near joints and areas of pain. Many researchers believe these tattoos were therapeutic, possibly an early form of acupuncture or pain relief. This tells us something important. Tattoos didn't begin as decoration, they began as purpose. Across ancient cultures, tattooing appeared independently, meaning humans around the world arrived at this practice on their own. In ancient Egypt, tattoos were found on mummies, especially women, often linked to fertility, protection, and spiritual power. In Polynesian cultures, tattoos were sacred. The word tattoo itself comes from the Polynesian word tatau, meaning to mark. In Polynesia, tattoos weren't chosen casually. They told the story of who you were, your family, your status, your achievements, your role in the tribe. To be tattooed was to be recognized by your people and your ancestors. In Japan, tattooing evolved into intricate body art known as irizumi, often tied to mythology, protection, and later social rebellion. In indigenous cultures across the Americas, tattoos marked rites of passage, bravery, spiritual visions, and tribal belonging. In these ancient societies, tattoos were earned, not bought. They were symbols of endurance, transformation, and meaning. Tattoos as identity, power, and control. As civilizations grew, tattoos took on new roles. In ancient Rome and Greece, tattoos were sometimes used to mark criminals, slaves, or prisoners of war. What once symbolized honor and spirituality became in some places a symbol of control. This duality is important. Tattoos have always existed on the edge between empowerment and oppression. They can represent freedom or be used to strip it away. In medieval Europe, tattoos largely disappeared, partly due to religious influence, as the body was seen as sacred and unalterable. But they never truly vanished. Sailors, travelers, and warriors carried tattooing traditions across oceans, keeping the practice alive. The tattoo renaissance. Tattoos re-emerged strongly in Western culture during the Age of Exploration. Sailors returned from Polynesia and Asia with tattooed skin, symbols of the places they'd been and the lives they'd lived. For them, tattoos were memory made permanent. By the 19th and early 20th centuries, tattoos became associated with sailors, circus performers, bikers, and outsiders. This created a powerful identity, tattoos as rebellion. Then in 1891, the first electric tattoo machine was patented. This changed everything. Tattooing became faster, more precise, and more accessible. Over time, tattoo shops appeared, styles evolved, and tattoos slowly moved from the margins into mainstream culture. Still, for much of the 20th century, tattoos were stigmatized. They were seen as something other, unprofessional, dangerous, or taboo. But culture kept shifting. Modern tattoos, art, healing, and self-expression. By the late 20th and early 21st centuries, tattoos experienced a massive transformation. Artists pushed the boundaries of realism, color, fine line work, geometric design, and abstract art. Tattoos became recognized as legitimate art forms. Today, people get tattoos for deeply personal reasons. To honor loved ones, to mark survival and healing, to reclaim their bodies, to express beliefs, faith, or identity, to remember who they were or who they are becoming. For many, tattoos are a way of taking ownership of their story. In a world that constantly tries to label us, tattoos allow us to say, "This is who I am." There is also a growing understanding of tattoos as therapeutic. Scar-covering tattoos, mastectomy tattoos, and trauma-informed tattooing help people heal emotionally as well as physically. Tattoos have become not just decoration, but restoration. The technology behind tattooing. Tattooing today blends ancient ritual with modern technology. Machines are quieter, safer, and more precise. Inks are more vibrant and long-lasting. Hygiene standards are higher than ever. Artists now study anatomy, skin science, color theory, and digital design. Many tattoos begin as digital art before ever touching skin. This fusion of old and new reflects something deeper. Tattoos evolve alongside humanity. The future of tattoos. So where are tattoos headed next? The future of tattooing is already unfolding. We are seeing the rise of biotech tattoos, inks that can react to body temperature, blood sugar levels, or UV exposure. Some experimental tattoos can change color based on health markers, turning the body into a living interface. There is also research into temporary and semi-permanent inks that last years instead of lifetimes, giving people more freedom to evolve without permanence. Augmented reality may soon allow tattoos to appear animated through phones or smart glasses, static art becoming living stories. Artificial intelligence is also influencing tattoo design. AI can generate custom designs based on personal stories, emotions, or symbolism, helping artists collaborate with technology rather than compete with it. But perhaps the most important future shift isn't technological, it's cultural. Tattoos are becoming normalized. They no longer define someone's worth, intelligence, or professionalism. Instead, they are seen as another language of expression. What tattoos ultimately represent? When you strip away trends, technology, and styles, tattoos come back to one simple truth. Humans have always felt the need to mark meaning. Tattoos are a declaration that this moment mattered, that this pain, this love, this belief, this memory deserve to be carried forward. They remind us that we are temporary, but stories endure. From ancient shamans to modern artists, from sacred rituals to digital designs, tattoos have followed humanity through every chapter of its evolution. And as we move into the future, more connected, more technological, more complex, tattoos will continue to do what they've always done best. They will remind us that beneath all progress, we are still human, still searching for meaning, still writing our stories, one mark at a time.